No, that's probably it. Ow, worth it. Ow, I got hit twice? Alright, I'm just...
It's so funny.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. I built an arm that punches me in the face every time I crouch spray in Valorant. Now, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Most are probably along the lines of, why?
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Well, if you've spent a good amount of time playing Valorant, I'm sure you've heard something along the lines of, don't crouch spray at some point.
I feel like I crouch spray so much still. I gotta stop doing it. Crouching is not the wave in this game. I'll always be on the move.
And while there is a time and place to crouch spray, and it's not always bad, reflexively crouch spraying every single fight is certainly a bad habit one can fall into. Crouch spraying full commits you to a fight, when more often than not you should be peeking tightly, isolating 1v1s, and then retreating to cover before you get traded, while burst firing as opposed to full spraying. As someone who has sold their soul to Valorant and hates himself, I've peaked just below Radiant, but never quite hit it. So, in my quest to finally get the rank that looks like a piece of corn for whatever reason, I decided to tackle the bad habit I never could quite kick: crouch spraying. In the past, my solution was to just unbind crouch entirely. But there are many situations where crouch is useful, or even necessary, such as sewers on Pearl. Given that I play ranked Valorant, you already know I'm a masochist. So, taking inspiration from Pavlov's dogs, I turned to the most obvious solution. Build a motorized slapping machine that hits me in the face every single time I crouch spray in Valorant. As anyone would. Oh, and it should be said, don't try this shit at home! So anyways, here's how I did this at home. After drawing up some highly technical blueprints, I got to work. As someone with more time than money on his hands, I gathered as many parts as I could by salvaging. For a power supply, I'll turn to an old office PC I have lying around. This is the shiny brick I will be tapping as a 12-volt power source for my masochistic contraption. For the motor, we will be taking apart a cordless drill.
We use the drill to destroy the drill.
Inside is a brushless motor attached to a trigger mechanism. We want a bit more control than a trigger will provide, so the only part we'll really want here is that motor. As for non-salvaged parts, for our controller we'll be using just a Raspberry Pi, exact model in the description. For our motor driver, we'll be using a HiLetGo brand driver. To communicate between the Pi and the motor driver, we will be using some level shifters ordered off Amazon. To organize our rails, we'll be using a run-of-the-mill breadboard. And lastly, we will also get some fuse holders off Amazon. Alright, let's get to work. For starters, we will separate the brushless motor from the trigger mechanism, keeping the supply and ground leads intact. Since we will be tapping the power supply, I will cut off a ground and supply lead to tap into. Since I'm not interested in burning down my house at this time, I begin by soldering an inline fuse to the supply line of the power supply. This provides overcurrent protection. Basically, in the case that the current from the power supply spikes, this prevents the motor driver and wiring from heating up and turning my goofy project into an IED. Because I'm stupid, but not that stupid. Next, we will assemble the level shifter, inserting the pins and soldering them to the shifter board. Don't worry, I'll save you guys from the boredom of following wiring diagrams. But next we'll wire the Raspberry Pi, the level shifter, and lastly, the motor driver to the breadboard. Next, we will insert the ground and supply leads from the power supply into their respective terminals on the motor driver. After inserting the motor leads into the motor driver as well, we are ready to run a quick test. First, we'll connect the Raspberry Pi to the Wi-Fi, and then write two test scripts. The first is a Flask API on the Raspberry Pi that will listen to requests from our PC. The second is a bare-bones script that sends a request to the Pi for the motor to spin forward. Let's test it out. Now that I've confirmed that we can control the drill motor from our PC, I also want to add some length to the leads from the motor, so we will solder some extra length there as well. Now we are ready to build the motor stand and slapping arm. I'll straighten out a coat hanger and wrap it in foam, as I'd rather not poke my eye out with this thing. After mounting the motor to a tripod, this is how the whole thing looks. I'm using the word mounting here generously. I've essentially just duct taped the thing on. I want to have the rest of our contraption in a tidier package though, so let's throw together a little enclosure for it. I cut out panels for both our supply and ground lines, as well as power for the Pi. Now we can put all of our wiring and control inside and close it up. Hey, it's jank, but it works for our purposes here. Now we can go ahead and attach that to our tripod and we are ready to go. Now that our tripod is built, we move on to the hard part, which is creating a script that can detect crouch spraying in Valorant to activate the motor. Now, despite my love-hate relationship with this game, I've spent a chunk of change on my main account. It's an investment, I swear.
Stop it. Get some help.
So I would hate for any program I write for this video to get flagged by the anti-cheat and have all those skins Thanos snapped by a ban. The most straightforward approach to this would be to monitor all global inputs and have that trigger the motor. But I suspect Vanguard would not like that. This is why we are going to have to get creative here. Then it occurred to me. When I stream, I use a keyboard overlay called NohBoard. I use it so I don't have to explain to every Joe Schmo off the street why my key bindings are so weird in-game. In case you are wondering, I play games with the right side of my keyboard, not the left. I won't get into it, but it is the most optimal way to play on a keyboard. If you would like a video explaining why, be sure to let me know in the comments. Anyways, I already know for a fact that this program is not flagged by the anti-cheat and is able to monitor inputs, so why don't I just monitor this instead? So I created two new elements on my overlay, one cyan square for my left click and one orange square for my crouch key, which is N when I play Valorant. I configured it so that when I left click, the cyan square turns green, and when I crouch, the orange square turns red. I then wrote a script to capture this NohBoard window 30 times a second and detect what the current color states of these squares are. If it detects an orange square and a cyan square, it knows both keys are deactivated. If it detects a green square, it knows I'm left clicking. If it detects a red square, it knows I'm crouching. And if it detects both being held for 0.25 seconds, it registers this as a crouch spray and sends a request to the Raspberry Pi to activate the motor. To ensure the arm resets each time it hits me, I wrote the script to send a request for a forward pulse to hit me in the face, then a reverse pulse to return to its original position, ready to smack me repeatedly like my kindergarten teacher. After some testing and adjustments, our masochistic device was all ready to go. All that was left was to try it out. And because being hit in the face is the only way for me to feel anything anymore, I also set up a channel points redeem so that my chat could also hit me in the face as well. Speaking of which, I usually stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 PM to 1 AM Pacific time, as well as weekends from 9 PM to 12 AM. So if you'd like to hit me in the face as well, be sure to stop by. Also, this is a new direction for my content that I am testing the waters with. I had a lot of fun making this video, so if you enjoyed it as well, let me know by dropping a like. I also have 20 or so videos of this nature planned out, so if you want to see more, be sure to one-tap that subscribe button as well. I would really appreciate it. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Yes, get over that!
I was interested to see how I would handle fights knowing that crouch spraying would result in me getting hit in the face. Would getting hit in the face repeatedly really help me kick my crouch spraying habit once and for all? Turns out, not really. I still kept doing it, just tanking the hit to the face each time. Oh, I got hit in the face. Oh, I got hit in the face again. I got hit in the face again. However, I will say that I felt my crouch spraying ended up being more intentional than force of habit after a while. And I would end up saying worth it if I felt that the crouch spray was ultimately worth taking a beating.
My goodness. What are men?
How worth it?
Who let men? This is why men don't make the sandwiches.
Though I'll admit, I was still crouch spraying more than was necessary at times. Sometimes taking hit after hit to the face to get a multi-kill.
Suddenly loves me.
Oh, worth it.
And me. Frick, dude. Oh jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, wait.
One thing I didn't account for was my glasses. Every time I got hit in the face, it would smudge them. And given that my glasses are more beat up than me after asking a girl out, and held together by hot glue, sometimes the arm would even knock the lens out of my glasses.
God,
that knocked the lens out of my glasses.
Yo, okay, but that's what I'm saying. You need to get new glasses that aren't glued together.
Oh. No.
Just a thought.
No. No, I don't think I will.
But in spite of all this, we soldiered on. And call me a masochist, but I had a lot of fun for the rest of that stream, even hitting a few clips along the way. At the end of the day, while I don't think I'll make use of Mike Tyson here in my ranked games, I do think it made me a bit more mindful of ensuring that I would only crouch spray when I felt it was worthwhile to confirm a kill, as opposed to doing it habitually. And hey, I had a lot of fun throughout this whole process. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for sticking with me, I really appreciate it. I have lots of ideas like this one, so if you want to see more, be sure to drop a like to let me know, and subscribe for more content. Also, feel free to stop by my stream to see what I'm working on next, or if you'd just like to hit me in the face for wasting your time watching this video. I also post short-form versions of my content on TikTok, so be sure to follow me there as well. Thanks again so much for watching, and see you next time.